Oh, hello everybody, welcome to Bleach Manga Chapter 651, live reaction and review, the theatre suicide, scene 5. When we left off, the Nanao came in and we saw the second version of, well, technically her Zanpaktuo now, is what I'm getting at. Ooh, we're starting with backstory. Well, past really. Wake up, Shunsui-san. Oh, this is a first. My body is ready. Go on, wake up. Ooh. Who's that? Is that Nanao's mother? Yeah. Under the bright sun sits the shadow of a beautiful woman. Morning. Big sis! Oh! Fuck me! He's gone. Where'd he hide now? Oh, wait, what's Lily doing? Huh? There, huh? How'd you know he's there? I see, so your Kage only lets you oh yeah, it let you hide in the shadows for quite some time. Well then. Ooh. I wonder what'll happen if that spot of shadow disappears entirely. Who's that? Oh, so now. Kyokotsu. Hmm? What are you talking about? I've always known Kyokotsu was two separate entities, but Kyokotsu's my Zanpaktuo? I tell you yes, but there's a slight error in that answer as well. Okay, regardless, Ohana made Okyo in order to hide his Zanpaktuo. Wait. No. This was your mother's wish. But why? The Icy family was always a family of women. They've only had women for as long as their family tree was recorded. That's why the women were... What? Ooh. It looks like someone was killed. But all the men that entered the Ice family apparently died quite young due to the Icy curse. Alright. Of course there were those that thought that the whole curse was ridiculous, but she didn't think so at all. She wanted to enter that myth. She wanted to end that myth once and for all. So she was prepared to cut all ties with the Icy family when she married off. But in the end, her husband too died not long after. He was my brother's wife. Wait, what? He was my brother's wife. Wait, that doesn't sound grammatically correct. He was my brother's wife. So the guy that died was your brother. My brother and I were never on good terms, but the atmosphere around us began to change a little ever since she came. Living with my brother became much more comfortable compared to before. I used to go over and play quite a lot, taking afternoon naps by the porch and so. But my brother had died. It was common practice in nobility for the bride to be returned to her original family if her husband were to pass away, cutting all ties with the family of the deceased. She was returned to the Icy family. That's right. While she had resolved herself to cut all ties with the Icy family, she never could escape its grips. So it's true then. A woman of the Icy family can never escape the Icy curse, but it might be because of this sword. She tried everything she could to make sure her daughter would not be caught by the curse. The sword was left in my care. I had Okyo, who loved hide and seek, hide the sword for me. Oh wait, what? Oh, so Okyo, so Okyo had the Zanpaktuo inside her. That's freaky. So this is how they're gonna kill Lily. Are you seriously gonna come out from that tiny shadow? No. I know that you really didn't want to pass this sword back to me, and that's for my own good. Oh. But just as my mother decided to try and escape the curse, I too have made my own decision to accept the curse. Also, Even if I've accepted the curse, I would. No. The person I've chosen to love would definitely think the curse is ridiculous too. I felt that he'd say so while smiling. Ah. Alright then, take it. That sword would definitely what? Oh? Looky here. The only one who that appeared was the vice captain. Are you telling me that you, a vice captain, will fight me alone? The Icy family is a Shinto family, put in charge of rituals and do not have their own Zanpaktuos. The only Zanpaktuo we have is passed down from generation to generation, and is a bladeless sword that's sole purpose is for the rituals we hold. This sword is a sword that cannot kill a man. Wait, what? But when faced with a god, its divine powers are said to be strong enough to scatter any heavenly being it touches. Its name is Holy Sword Hakuken. Her heart becomes, oh my god, that sword. Her heart becomes as clear and serene as a mirror. Okay then, be right back. Okay, I will not lie. The premise of Nanao and, well, not really Nanao, Shunsui's past, I suppose, basically, um, was okay. Well, it was actually very good and very interesting. But the problem I have is that it was done literally at the last minute. That is my main problem with this. You see, like, unlike when it came down to I nearly said Nanao then. What the frig was her name? I completely forgot. Nemu. Unlike when it came down to Nemu being developed, the stuff that was being said wasn't really pulled out there. It was something that could have been said because it's Mayuri. Again, if it seems like an ass pull, Mayuri is like a good ass pull in itself. But with Nemu, it's obviously different because like Nemu was was the father, so obviously, he even said that he created her, and so on and so forth. So anything that's being said has, whether it's planned or no, whatever Kubo could have said, which obviously he has said, the stages and what they were used for, obviously made sense as far as story consistency goes. Now, as far as this goes, this was literally pulled out there. Now, my problem with it is the sword itself. What is it? But when faced with a god, its divine powers are said to be strong enough to scatter any heavenly being he touches. That's my main problem here. The fact that this sword came out of nowhere and suddenly has the power to kill Lily in the blink of an eye, because that's what it basically is. If it was, say, foreshadowed a couple of chapters beforehand, I wouldn't have really had a problem with it. Or if, Shunsui had, in a monologue beforehand with, Nanao during the battle, I wouldn't have really had a problem with it then, but still it would have kind of been like last minute hell. The best place, for this could have been to be foreshadowed, in my opinion, was when Hoshwall came to his office, and Nanao was the one defending him. Obviously, Shinsui could have handled himself, but Nanao was getting involved. I mean, that would have been the perfect place to get involved. Or if the day 10 is as well. Actually, I don't think they would have had information on something like that. No, that's impossible. Yeah, that one is a stretch, the day 10. Now, again, I don't have a problem with the character development, even though the character development was basically for Nanao's family rather than herself. My problem is that it was just thrown out there. Now, my problem no, I didn't have a problem last week because I thought Kanten or Okio um, was Nanao Zanpaktuo because that actually sounded interesting. Because that something like that couldn't have really been, well, it could have been foreshadowed. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been. It could have been, but it's not something that could have been a main focus, and it's not really something that Shunsui really had the time to think. The only major battles he's had, is well, major is with Yamamoto, then Stark, Robert, and briefly Hoshwald, even though that wasn't really a fight, and Lily. Well, actually, minus Lily because obviously it was mentioned, but prior to obviously the Lily fight, I don't think something like that could have been mentioned because Nanao was always away from the fighting, albeit Yamamoto of course, but he has to act in her defense as a captain, which was natural, and he did. If Kanten was the Zanpaktuo, I would have been cool with it. But the fact that a new Zanpaktuo is... Well, it's not the fact that it's the new Zanpaktuo that's come into play, it's the fact of what it can do. If her family was foreshadowed, a couple of chapters prior, or even, her Zanpaktuo mentioned a couple of chapters prior, or even, Nanao asking, there may come a time where I need my Zanpaktuo. Something as little as that. And, people would have been like, oh, okay, what's going on here? But no. This is Kubo's problem. It's like pulling stuff right out of his anus. But the other side is I don't have a problem with the backstory. I absolutely do not have a problem with the backstory. It was very interesting learning about her family, how there was a curse, and her mother rather broke away from the Icy family because she didn't believe in the curse, and when she got married to Shunsui's brother, he died a couple of days later. I'm not going to say days. Let's just say weeks. A couple of weeks later, and then she went back to her family, but it wasn't that the family was cursed. It was because of the Zanpaktuo itself, and when telling her this story, and now she did care, but she didn't really acknowledge the curse. Well, she acknowledged the curse and accepts the curse, but the person that she loves, which is Shunsui, she said, the person that I've chosen to love would definitely think the curse is ridiculous too. I feel that he'd say so while smiling. So yeah, that was actually quite a nice touch there. So yeah, and the fact that he hid the Zanpaktuo within his own Zanpaktuo is quite the surprising feat, because I didn't know something like that was possible. Sure, shadows were used and so on, but hiding something like that within, I didn't think that was possible. But anyway, do I like the Zanpaktuo style? Yeah, looks interesting. Do I like the premise of her family? Yes, actually, it's quite unique in my opinion. So far, I can't really say that this is character development for Nanao. I can say it's set up for character development, sure, but that's pretty much it. Because, like, her accepting it at the last minute. I mean, like, well, not really at the last minute. I mean, it seems kind of like out there, I suppose. Um, but the Zanpaktuo itself, its capabilities and what it's said to do, that is what I don't like, and I feel that is where the chapter is at its weakest. So yeah, so far the chapter was good, albeit the final section. Well, the explanation of her sword. So for that, and especially like Kubo just throwing it out there, and there was nothing, no foreshadowing of any kind whatsoever. But if there has been, please let me know in the comments below, and that I'm being a complete idiot. Because if so, I will change my point from a 5 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. But as the chapter goes itself and my knowledge so far, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Again, everything was good besides the Zanpaktuo explanation, and I feel that the whole premise of the Zanpaktuo itself and the fact that it was just like, sprung there. It's not like it's a Bonkai or even a Shikai just active. Well, actually, Shikai's debatable, but as far as Bonkais go, like, it's not like it's a Bonkai just activated, Bonkais are supposed to be strong, but, the fact that it's a holy sword, and it's a holy sword Zanpakuto and can destroy gods, or, holy beings, shall we say, it's just like, what? I mean, the only holy being that's really there is the Soul King. So are you saying that the Icy family tried to kill the Soul King and got the curse because of it? That's actually an interesting thought, but regardless. Yeah. 5 out of 10. Good. It was a good chapter. The backstory, but again, just the fact that it was just, So yeah, I'll see you next week. Good day.